the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay. Rise and shine, it's your time. Skill up, raise the climb. Navigate, innovate. It's your fate, don't be late. Get the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay.
If you're a new manager or hoping to be a new manager, join us in our exploration into what managers need to know. This program will set you up for success by building your knowledge and confidence in the skills you need to be effective. Hello, and welcome to the third in our 5-section series on what managers need to know about problem solving and decision making. In the first section, we looked at defining the problem, because the obvious problem is rarely the problem, and the obvious solution is rarely the solution. And many of us have made matters worse by jumping to conclusions and ending up solving the wrong problem and making things worse. So we looked at different ways to identify what the root cause is of a problem. In the second of our series, we identified decision-making criteria. Ultimately, when we have identified alternatives, which is what we're going to be talking about today, we need to have some objective criteria that we can use so that we know what the issues are, what's acceptable, what we're going to implement. So it helps us pare down those alternatives. So today we're going to look at 3 different ways to generate alternatives. So we've defined the problem, we've identified the decision-making criteria that will provide the parameters for any proposed solutions. So now we need to develop alternative solutions to the problem without criticism, judgment, or commenting on any of them at this stage in the problem-solving process. The 3 group idea generating techniques that we're going to look at are brainstorming, with which you're probably very familiar, nominal group technique, which is a formalized brainstorm, and online collaborative mind mapping. So brainstorming, it's a creative thinking technique used to generate a wide range of ideas and solutions, and usually it's in response to a specific problem or prompt. It often involves a group of people who are encouraged to share their ideas freely and spontaneously, without fear of criticism or judgment. And that's most important. People have to feel comfortable proposing even outlandish things, because it may prompt someone else to come up with something that's really very creative and useful. The aim is to produce as many ideas as possible, including those that may initially seem unusual or unconventional. We want to record those ideas during the session so we can evaluate them later, not while they're being discussed. So this isn't a time for someone to say, well, that's similar to this, or no, we've tried that and that won't work. Those kinds of conversations and criticisms aren't acceptable during the brainstorming process. And this approach can foster open collaboration, innovation, and collective problem solving by allowing participants to build on each other's contributions and explore new perspectives. So in brainstorming, we review the topic, defining the subject of the brainstorm, and often this is done best as a why or how or what question. How can we get all the information we need on a regular basis, for example? We give everyone a minute or two of silence to think about the question. And very often in brainstorming, we don't give people that time. We jump right in, which leaves those people who are more introverted and need to collect their thoughts kind of out of the process. So you want to make sure you give them some time to think about it. Invite everyone to call out their ideas, with one person writing down all of the ideas on a flip chart, or if it's a virtual meeting, on a whiteboard, pausing only to check accuracy. The meeting facilitator should enforce the ground rules: no discussion, no judgment. And that means that the person who is writing down the ideas doesn't get some veto power over what they write. They need to write everything as exactly as they hear it. So that's brainstorming. Now we look at nominal group technique, which is a formalized brainstorm. It's more structured than brainstorming to generate a list of options and narrow it down. It's called nominal because during the session, the group does not engage in the usual amount of interaction typical of brainstorming. Because of its relatively low level of interaction, nominal group technique is an effective tool when all or some of the members are new to each other. It's also very good for highly controversial issues, when a team is stuck in disagreement or when there's a possibility that some members might tend to dominate the discussion due to their position or their personality. When I'm dealing with very conflictive situations, nominal group technique is what I use. Because what you do is you define the task in the form of a question, just as you would for brainstorming. But in this case, instead of people thinking about it and calling out ideas, they write down their ideas in silence on index cards. One idea per index card. You don't allow any distraction at this stage. No joking, no moving around, no whispering, definitely no talking. And people who finish first must sit quietly until all are finished. You can certainly give a certain period of time for people. You don't have to let it go on forever, of course. Gather all index cards and have someone write the ideas on a flip chart. Clarify and discuss the ideas, which may involve changing the wording if the idea originator agrees. And when possible, combine ideas, again, only if the originators agree. If you're doing this remotely, you define the question, you communicate it to all participants. They submit their ideas through whatever communication channel is used by the organization. Then one person creates a composite list of all ideas and sends it out to the other participants. After that, you can conduct a virtual meeting to clarify and discuss ideas, which may involve changing the wording if the originator agrees, or combining ideas if the originators agree. Our third approach is online collaborative mind mapping. This is another effective option where participants add their thoughts and connections to shared digital mind map, either in real time or at different times. Tools such as a digital whiteboard further support this process by allowing users to organize and build on ideas visually, regardless of their physical location. And because you're using a mind map and people can see it visually, that can often prompt other ideas or other connections that would not otherwise be proposed. So we've looked at 3 different ways to generate alternatives. Let's talk. If you would like help in learning how to problem solve and make decisions, please schedule time to talk with me using the URL or the QR code. Next week, we're going to make a decision. We have defined the problem, we have identified our decision-making criteria, we have come up with alternatives. Now we've got to decide which alternatives or alternative is going to be most effective in solving the problem. And we will pare them down using a variety of techniques, and then we will apply the decision-making criteria to make sure that the solution we choose meets those criteria. So please join us next week when we finally make a decision. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Thank you so much for coming and participating in our discussion of what managers need to know. You can find the videos of this and previous sessions on my YouTube channel or under events on my LinkedIn profile. I'll look forward to seeing you again next week.
Get the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay. Get the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost. Lead the way every day. Find success, it's here to stay. It's here to stay. Oh, it's here to stay. It's here to stay. Yeah. Get the skills, be the boss. No more time to feel lost.